This summer, across 3 countries, 48 nations are contesting the largest sporting event ever staged. When the final is played, more human beings will watch it together than have ever watched anything. No religion, no language, no anthem is shared by more of our species than this. 22 people and 1 ball. And all of it, every stadium, every screen, every child playing barefoot on every continent, traces back through one door into one candlelit room in London on the 8th of December, 1863. 16 men, 1 vote. The question before them: should a player be allowed to kick his opponent in the shins? This is HourZero, the moment football was invented. To understand it, we go back 2,000 years, and then we come all the way home to tonight. The urge is older than any nation. In Han Dynasty China, soldiers trained with kuju, kickball, the earliest form of football that FIFA itself recognizes. Roman legions played harpastum. Medieval France had soul, Wales had knappen, Ireland had cade. Kicking a ball toward a target may be the closest thing humanity has to a universal instinct. But in England, the instinct grew teeth. Mob football. 2 villages, 1 ball, goals miles apart, hundreds of players, and rules that amounted to almost nothing. You could kick the ball, carry it, or carry the man holding it. Shops boarded their windows. People died in the scrums. The Crown's answer came in 1314, when the Lord Mayor of London, acting for King Edward II, proclaimed a ban on the great uproar of football in the city. It failed. So they banned it again and again. For roughly 300 years, English kings outlawed football, partly for the bloodshed, partly because it lured young men away from archery practice. Mark the first great irony of this story, because it will not be the last. The game England gave the world spent its first centuries as a crime in England. What finally tamed the mob wasn't a king. It was the English public school, which adopted football in the early 1800s as a machine for building character, and promptly broke it into dialects. At rugby school, you caught the ball and ran. At Eton, you did not. Some schools cherished hacking. Others called it savagery. Inside one school's walls, this worked. But when the boys grew up, moved to London, founded clubs, and tried to play each other, every match began with an argument. In 1848, Cambridge students drafted a compromise. It didn't hold. When the competing codes were published side by side in 1861, the collection mostly proved how deep the fracture ran. Then, a 32-year-old solicitor from Hull decided to fix it. Ebenezer Cobb Morley, founder and captain of the Barnes Football Club, wrote to the sporting paper Bell's Life, proposing something that had never existed: one governing body, one code of laws for all of football. A meeting was called. The venue, the Freemasons Tavern, Great Queen Street. The date, October 26th, 1863. The countdown enters its final 44 days. A dozen clubs sent men into that room: Barnes, Blackheath, Crystal Palace, the War Office, the No Names of Kilburn. That first night they founded the Football Association and made Morley its secretary. His task: write the laws. He drafted them at his home in Barnes by the Thames. 23 rules at first. 2 of them nearly killed everything. One allowed a player to catch the ball and run. The other allowed hacking. Half the room saw these as the very soul of football. The other half saw the mob violence their entire civilization had spent a generation escaping. At the 5th meeting, the motion came to strike both rules, and Francis Campbell of Blackheath rose to give the pro-violence case its immortal form. "Abolish hacking," he warned, "and you will do away with all the courage and pluck of the game, and I will be bound to bring over a lot of Frenchmen who would beat you with a week's practice. Understand what he was actually saying. If football ever came down to mere skill, foreigners might win it. Morley answered like the lawyer he was. Allow hacking, and grown men simply will not play. Only schoolboys will take the field, and this association dies in its cradle. The chairman rebuked Campbell for threatening to walk. The vote was taken anyway, 13-4. Hacking was dead. At the sixth meeting, Campbell made good on the threat and withdrew Blackheath, declaring the new laws would destroy the game and all interest in it. And that same night, the men who remained published the 13 laws of the game. No carrying, no hacking, tripping, or holding. The ball now belonged to the feet. In one evening, one room had produced two futures. The men who stayed had invented football. The men who walked out would found rugby 8 years later. The most popular thing humanity would ever agree on was born from a disagreement, decided 13 votes to 4. December 19, 1863. The first match ever played under the laws. Morley's Barnes against Richmond at Limes Field in Mortlake. The score, in perfect English fashion, 0-0. From that quiet beginning, the acceleration is staggering. The code absorbed the corner kick and the free kick from the rival Sheffield rules. Within a generation, it leapt from gentlemen's clubs to factory towns and dockyards. The working class made the game its own, and it boarded every ship leaving every English port. And here Campbell's prophecy detonates. He had warned that without shin-kicking, Frenchmen would master the game. In 1904, football's world governing body was founded, in Paris, by 7 continental nations, under a French name, the Fédération Internationale de Football Association, FIFA. England didn't even attend. The Frenchmen hadn't just learned the game with a week's practice. They ended up governing it, forever. In 1930, FIFA staged its first World Cup in Uruguay. 13 teams, some crossing the Atlantic by steamship. Then television turned the tournament into the planet's shared clock. Every 4 years, the world stops for the same month. And of the 12 clubs that sat in the Freemasons' tavern, today only one, Civil Service FC, still exists. The founders vanished. The thing they founded conquered Earth. Which returns us to this summer. 48 nations, 3 host countries. The game so vast it is played in stadiums, on phones, on your television by remote control. Every rule on that pitch is a descendant of 13 laws one solicitor wrote at his desk by the Thames. Ebenezer Cobb Morley never earned a penny from football. He wrote its laws, scored in the first representative match ever played, served as the FA's president, then went back to being a lawyer and a rowing man. He died in 1924, aged 93, and was buried beside his wife in Barnes Old Cemetery. The cemetery was later abandoned. Today, it is derelict, and his grave stands alone in the overgrowth, 3 miles from Wembley Stadium. 1 billion people are watching his game right now. Almost none of them know his name. 2,000 years counting down. 1 vote, and a count-up that hasn't stopped. HourZero.